name's Ken Edmonds, and my specialty is helping people find innovative ways to maximize their travel dollars. I do that by sharing, like this video, I share deals that I find. I do also talk about our past trips, show what we did to maximize our travel dollars on those trips. I talk about travel gear. And if you're, do me a favor, if you're here for the first time, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. You're going to want to see the shows that I have coming up. I do a live show on both Facebook and YouTube every Monday night. And next week's show is going to be, we'll be talking about the camera gear that I took that really improved the quality of the photography on my last trip. Today, though, we're going to talk about steals and deals from Norwegian. I got some emails today, and I was looking through them, and I found some things that just amazed me. And like I said, if you can hear me, go ahead and smash the like button there so I know you're there. I will tell you one of my probably the best deal that I found, and there's a couple of variations on it, is right now for the Panama Canal. So let's look at for example, here's a 21-day Panama Canal from Los Angeles to New York. Make this a little bigger so you can see it. And we'll look at the details of this cruise. It visits some really nice ports. It comes out of LA, Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, Puerto Quetzal, Guatemala. Then it transits the, then we go to Punta Arenas in Costa Rica. Then it transits the Panama Canal, and then to a couple of ports in Colombia, Cartagena and Santa Marta, and then Aruba and Curacao and St. Martin. And these are kind of off the beaten path itineraries. I mean, places that not everybody gets a chance to go to. And you wind up disembarking in New York City. And when you look at that price, $9.49 a person for 21 days, that is less than $50 a day a person. Now that's for a sail away rate. But if we look, it was kind of interesting. I looked at some of the options. And so for a balcony, we can click on the balcony there and just give it a minute. And I just set this up for two people in the room, so let's go here. And so what we look at, a low-end balcony, $1,869 for 21 days. So that's about $90 a day or a little less. But with that, you get free unlimited open bar, free specialty dining, your shore excursions, free Wi-Fi, and free extra guests. So that means that you could actually put 4 people in the room. And if you do that, the price drops significantly. We had that particular category of stateroom with my granddaughter when we went on the Jewel to Alaska, and it worked out really well for the 3 of us. So that was one of the ones that I thought was pretty amazing. And let me, and by the way, put in the comments if you've ever been to Alaska or been through the Panama Canal, because those are the 2 things we're going to talk about on these cruise deals today. Let's go back one more here. We'll take a look at another one. So we had that one. If you wanted to see a little more of the U.S., they have well, actually, this one sees a little less because it's a partial transit. Again, get some really nice ports of 15 days for $5.99. So that's about $40 a day. They have a 20-day from New York City that winds up in San Francisco. So you get some interesting ports in the U.S., and that's $1,099. So again, just a little bit over $50 a day. The other thing that I'll say, and I thought this was kind of interesting, is when we were on the Jewel in June, at the end of May, 1st of June, we booked the cruise at about $700. That cruise wound up right before we sailed, dropped to like $269, which is just nuts. You could have done for less than we paid for the 7-day southbound. The price on the cruise dropped to the point you could have done a 14-day round trip for less money. So now they took care of us. We got a nice upgrade, some things that made it better. But if you're where you can wait till the last minute and you have the ability to travel on short notice, I'd sit on some of these and kind of keep an eye on them if you're interested, because I think that some of these are going to go down to probably maybe the $700-800 range. At least it wouldn't surprise me. And by the way, I'm not a travel agent and I don't work for Norwegian. I am a Norwegian fan, and I was perusing their specials because I get an email every week, and like I said, I saw some that I thought were kind of amazing. The other thing that I wanted to talk about just real briefly, and like I said, I'm going to keep it short, is we're going to look at Alaska, because NCL has added a bunch of new itineraries in Alaska, and some of those look pretty amazing. And for being as far out as we are, we'll pick all three of the destinations. Find the cruise. So let's see what we got here. Okay, so right here we are. A round trip Seattle, $699, and that's 8 months out, which is a really good bargain. But some of these get even better. The southbound, this one I thought was super cheap, because again, this is $399. Let's look at the details on that. This is the one we did this year, and we could book this if we go dates and pricing. Oh, that one's this year. Okay, so they go up. I didn't realize there was still one sailing left this year, but still, it's not bad. Booking a year out, you can book inside for $549. You can book a Haven for $55.99. Here's something that's interesting. That same Haven on that 21-day, that same category in the Haven on the 21-day is $55.99 as well. So if any of you are Haven fans, that's as good as you'll ever see. In fact, I looked at it. If you book 6 in the Haven, they have a 2-bedroom that'll hold 6. Price drops to $21.49 per person. And so we're talking all of the perks of being in the Haven and $100 a day for that. So that's an amazing bargain. Let's go back a couple, because there's some new itineraries for Norwegian that I thought were really interesting. They're doing some cruise tours, and I didn't notice them this year. They may have had them and I just missed them, but they have a couple of cruise tours. They're trying to compete with Princess and with Holland America. For us, I tend to book the land stuff on my own just because I'm pretty thrifty and I usually find some really good deals. But here's an 11-day cruise round trip Seattle for $1,000. Let's see. Let's look at the details on that. But I think that is dates and pricing. Yeah, so that's in the end of May, first part of June next year. So it's shoulder season. Inside $1,000 for 11 days. So that's Alaska at $100 a day. And one of the things that's kind of nice about this itinerary is you go to Sitka, which is not somewhere that I've seen on the NCL's options before. You also do Hubbard Glacier and Dawes Glacier. You got some really nice port times, because you have in Skagway you have 13 hours, you have 12 hours in Icy Strait Point, you have 6 hours in Sitka. Juneau, you only have about 8 hours, but still you get a chance to spend a little more time in port. There's one that does an even better job with port times. Let me find it. And like I said, if you have any questions, please go ahead and post them in the comments, and I'll get back to you with them here in just a second. Let's go back to Alaska. Ports. Scroll down here a little bit. So let's look at the details on this one. So this one's a Glacier Bay cruise. Again, it's round trip Seattle, 11 days. You visit Glacier Bay, Hubbard Glacier, and Dawes Glacier. So you get 3 glacier days, which is pretty amazing. And again, we have some nice port times. 13 hours in Skagway, 12 in Icy Strait Point. We've got 10 in Sitka. Juneau, again, Juneau's still a little short, but you have 8 hours there, which is time to get to a lot of places. You have a nice, you have a short stop in Ketchikan as well. But, very nice itinerary. Let's go down here. And then we have the Ultimate Glacier package here. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. Good details. And again, we got Endicott Arm, Hubbard Glacier. The nice thing is, this time we don't get Glacier Bay, but look at our port times. In Juneau, we've got 12 hours. Skagway, we've got 12 hours. Ketchikan's the only short port time. In Victoria, we've got 6 from 7 p.m. to midnight there. So anyway, I was just quite impressed with their new itineraries. If you haven't looked, I'd suggest you take a look at it. Especially the Panama Canal transits. I don't think you're going to get I'm not really sure you're going to get a better deal than that. Again, like I said, I don't sell any of this. It's just I find deals and I share them with people. As I mentioned earlier, the question of the day for today is, have you taken an Alaskan cruise? So if you would put a comment in, either yes or no. Even if you're watching it on a replay, please put a comment in and I'll follow it up. You'll see a link in the description below that'll take you to my blog page. You'll find my blog on the Breakaway and on the on our trip on the Jewel out of Seward southbound, both of which were amazing. And you'll have an opportunity to sign up and you get informed then anytime we do something new. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next week. We're talking about camera gear for cruising.